Okay, so I need to talk about something that I think a lot of people are getting completely wrong right now. Dropshipping is not dead, but the version of dropshipping that most people learned from, let's say, YouTube or TikTok years ago, that version is basically completely wiped out. I know that sounds dramatic, but if you guys are trying to build a store today using the same strategy that people were using 3 to 5 years ago, it's going to be nearly impossible. The reason for that is because customers have changed, the market has changed, and honestly, the people that are winning right now, they don't even think of themselves as dropshippers anymore. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually happening right now. So basically before, for dropshipping, you could find some type of random viral product, you could make a store, you could run ads, you can make some money. But today, dropshipping is just the testing phase for most people. The smartest e-commerce entrepreneurs that I know, they're using dropshipping like a market research tool. So essentially what they do is they'll validate demand really quickly, and then they're gonna transition into something that looks way closer to a real brand. And we've seen this time and time again, right? Some big brands, let's say Gymshark, they used to actually dropship, but they all evolved into real brands with real equity. And if you look at modern Shopify success stories, there's a very clear pattern that's always the same. You start really lean, you validate really fast, and then you build brand equity. And so every single successful e-commerce player right now, they likely got started with dropshipping, but eventually they built around a certain category, and they gradually really start building the brand experience. And so the part that nobody really talks about or explains to beginners is the goal is not to stay a generic dropshipping store forever. The goal is to use dropshipping as leverage. So now let's talk about what stores are actually crushing it. Like, what do they actually look like? The first thing is that they're all niche focused, right? So general stores do not work anymore. You can't create a general store selling all different types of dropship products. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for customers. It doesn't work for ads. There are tons of different niches that you can build dropshipping sites in. For example, it can be in pen niche, home organization, wellness, travel, car accessories. And what you want to do is go into that and then go even deeper into a more specific audience. And the second is a hybrid fulfillment approach. So they might start with dropshipping, but once something works, they move towards faster shipping, custom packaging, or even private labeling. And third is content first marketing. So this is really, really big. And the biggest e-commerce brands today, they all sort of feel like media companies, right? Like they're doing a bunch of TikTok content. They have tons of UGC creators. They make educational videos. They have actual communities. This is very, very important for building a successful e-commerce brand. Now, the big ship that nobody's really talking about is what I like to call private label led. A lot of people think that private label means you have huge inventory risk, but that's not how operators do it now. So essentially, I'll break down into 3 steps. You're going to drop ship to validate. 2, you're going to identify winners. And then 3, you're going to gradually improve branding and control. So like I mentioned already, right? Custom packaging, better shipping, better quality product, stuff like that. And once you see dropshipping this way, it really stops looking like a scammy business model and starts looking like real product validation. Now, the biggest technological advance you guys all know about is AI. AI is completely changing dropshipping right now. Today, people are basically using AI to brainstorm product angles, generate ad hooks, generate landing page copy, analyze competitor stores, test multiple creative directions really quickly, and also, like I mentioned, creating stores really, really fast, right? Like if you use storebuild.ai to actually create a store, it's going to give you a functioning site that you can actually start using right away. That way you can focus on testing instead of actually manually designing. And that gives you an advantage that really matters now, which is speed. Because the faster you guys test, the faster you learn, and the faster you can build your real business. Now, the great thing is that there are so many tools out there that actually really speed up the testing process. So for example, my favorite store builder is storebuild.ai, right? Helps you build a really fast Shopify store. It's all done using AI, and what would have taken, let's say, a week to do before, now takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'll have a link down below if you want to try them out. Try building the AI site. It actually works extremely well. And it's also integrated with Zendrop. So essentially you can test out selling a bunch of different products. Zendrop handles all the fulfillments. And that is one way that these e-commerce players are just really testing everything really fast. So with tools like this, you can basically launch things way faster. You get way better fulfillment than random like AliExpress suppliers. And yeah, this is how I would recommend starting entering dropshipping right now. Basically, if you're not using AI to help with dropshipping or e-commerce, you are at a huge disadvantage because everyone else is using these tools to speed everything up. And that brings me to the next point, which is basically using AI to create creatives, to create content. Right now, AI can basically help you create product images. It can help you create lifestyle visuals. It can help you create ad copy. It can help you create UGC scripts. But right now, I think you need to pair all the stuff with real humans. So real creators, real UGC, and actual storytelling. Yes, you can kind of create UGC content with AI right now. Don't get me started about the legal consequences, right? It can get pretty gray area. But AI can definitely help you plan a lot of this stuff faster, give outlines, give scripts to these creators, essentially tell them what to say. You know what converts well, you know the structure for different ad scripts. Using AI to generate a bunch of these really optimized scripts and outlines for creators is the way to do it. So that way you can pair AI for speed and humans for actual connection and actual content. All the winners right now are also taking a really content-focused approach. And so instead of just paying for a bunch of ads to get revenue, they're building a huge library of organic content, both short form as well as long form. They're starting to incorporate a lot more niche-specific storytelling into their content. They're of course doing a lot of email and SMS for retention. They're collaborating with creators. These are all things that you basically need to do now to have a successful e-commerce brand. Basically, the bar is just set a lot higher. So that's why these low trust stores don't work. That's why slow shipping doesn't work. That's why lazy ads don't work. Customers are just a lot smarter now. And also right now, infrastructure matters more than ever. So that's where the back end becomes really, really important. We're talking about shipping speed, supplier reliability, operational systems. All stuff could have been, not that good before with dropshipping. Now it needs to really be on point. Yeah, that's basically why platforms like Zendrop are essentially a must-have. They're going to centralize sourcing and shipping so you're not juggling all these random suppliers. And also, again, the quality is just going to be a lot better. And of course, I had to bring my friend on to share his insights. He's a guy that started dropshipping and now has a huge e-commerce company. Can you introduce yourself?
So my name is Austin Rabin. I've been in dropshipping e-commerce space for over 7 years now. Started in 2019. I don't have any polos in here, but we're running a golf brand called Haven. It's doing really well. So that's what we're focusing on right now on the e-com side. And post content on YouTube as well. All lessons and tutorials.
What do you think about dropshipping is dying? Is it actually dying or is it just evolving?
I think it's just heavily evolving, and I think it's dying in the sense because people are starting to get introduced to new side hustles that are kind of taking up all of the attention, which is great for people in e-com, honestly. I think it's a better time to get into it now. Trading and crypto, taking away from people looking at dropshipping and e-commerce and starting brands, because it's a little bit easier to gamble your money than it is to actually build a fulfilling business, especially with physical products. I think it's changing a lot in an easier way because of AI. You see the store builders, you see great themes being put out there, page builders, image ad generation, video ad generation. You can really brand out your website a lot easier now than when I started. And yeah, if you don't keep up with it, it's going to be harder. But if you're knowledgeable about what you can actually do and the tools that you can actually use today, I think it's a great opportunity still.
What do beginners get completely wrong about dropshipping?
People focus so much on the product rather than marketing. People buy everything, right? So what I always tell people is just to pick something that you're passionate about. Pick a niche and find a problem-solving product within that niche, or even just a regular product. You're the ideal customer because you like that niche. So you're going to know exactly how you'd want to be marketed to, how you're going to use that product yourself. It makes it a lot easier to come up with your marketing angles and add creative ideas, what products to sell, price points, and all that stuff. I think marketing is super, super important.
What's actually working in marketing right now?
UGC is still great and everything, but I've been super consistent with image ads. I've been an image ad guy since literally 2020 and haven't really turned away from them since. Right now in Haven, we're running 100% image ads. I think it's a super underrated thing, and if you see on any of my channel videos and stuff, I talk about it all the time with physical proof, their case studies and everything, and I think that image ads are just the scroll stopping thing right now. We get great click-through rates, lower cost per link click, great conversions with image ads, so if you guys haven't tested out any image ads yet, it's definitely something you want to try out.
How are you guys creating image ads?
Right now we do have a photographer, we do use some AI as well, so a mix of chat to help prompt with Nano Banana, and then our photographer, I throw them into Canva or Photoshop depending on the use case for it, slap a strong headline on the image ad, pop it in, test it out. That's pretty much it.
If you were a complete beginner and you're starting out today, what would you do?
If I was going to start off, I would definitely start off with dropshipping. I'd pick a product, a niche that I know about or am passionate about, try to find a problem-solving product, and then I'd start testing out that product to see if people are interested in it. Focus heavily on marketing. Facebook ad strategy is not that complicated anymore. It's pretty simplified. So get your product out there and spend 3 to 5 times your average AOV be in ad spend on that product per angle. So like if you're selling a product for $50, you want to spend at least $150 to $250 testing a certain angle on Facebook and let that run for like about a week, because your product might sell better on a Wednesday than a Saturday or vice versa. And once you get, I would say, like a consistent 5 to 10 orders a day, I would say it's pretty proven. And then from there, you're going to want to start branding it out. Get custom products, start reaching out to suppliers, use something like importyeti.com to find manufacturers to help you custom make that product the way that you want it, and then start building it out from there. Get your social media presence going, get some photographers if you need them, start reaching out to influencers to promote, and then just start scaling it up from there.
What separates stores that scale to like 7, 8, 9 figures versus the ones that die?
That's a good question. I think a lot of people have a lot of one-hit wonders with dropshipping specifically. Like they'll scale up a store to 100 grand or 200, 300, 400, whatever it may be, and then it starts to slowly die out. And I think that's because they're really just hitting the same thing over and over again, hoping it's going to continue to work. You know, you see people hit those numbers and they wonder what happened. It's like, well, some competition probably entered the market and they're doing better than you. You're still posting the same ads. Like ads do fatigue. So I think people get really used to not testing. And once they found something that did win, they just hopefully keep trying to scale it up and up. But really, you should be testing as many things as possible, like your offer, your price point, your advertisements, your creatives, because all that stuff does fatigue. So reinvesting back in your business, really, because your business is going to pay you. So you got to treat the thing that's paying you well with more fuel, which is reinvesting.
Where do you see e-commerce and dropshipping in like 3 to 5 years?
I think there's going to be a huge base for 3PLs opening up in the United States more to provide dropshipping still. You might have to warehouse some of the product, whether they're buying it for you or you're buying the inventory ahead of time. And I think a lot of that's going to move to the US for the faster shipping times, because that's like a huge complaint with people. I think AI is only going to get so far with it. I think after a while, it's just like everything's going to be generated pretty nicely on your website, and websites aren't going to really stick out anymore. I just think it's going to evolve like it has over the last 6 years that I've been doing it, or 7.
How are you using AI in your e-commerce business?
We do some AI stuff for building like custom apps on Shopify, if you've used like the Sidekick and things like that, or sections of the store. But besides that, mainly just advertisement generation and marketing ideation as well.
I know you do a lot of content yourself too. If people want to learn about dropshipping or e-com, where can they find you?
My YouTube, that's where I do most of my lessons. And that's just Austin Rabin as the @. And then Instagram and TikTok are completely separate, and I just kind of post whatever I want on there, but all lesson-based stuff is on YouTube.
Okay, so our dropshipping today, this is exactly what I would do. I would pick a niche audience. I would use dropshipping to validate products really quickly. I'd use a ton of AI tools to launch fast. I'd then invest really heavily in content marketing. I'd build brand identity early on, and I'd gradually transition into more control over the phone. So essentially what I said was private label light. If you do all this stuff, you're not going to be just building some generic dropshipping site that can make a quick buck and then fizzles out. You're going to create a real brand, a real company, and something that actually has real equity. So yeah, dropshipping, it's not sparing, it's just evolving into something that's a bit smarter. And honestly, I think the whole opportunity with e-commerce right now is bigger than ever, but you really need to utilize the right tools. You need to use AI. You need to get content marketing right. If you can do all this today, you can absolutely win. Anyways, that's my little TED talk on dropshipping, how it's changing for 2026 and beyond. And hopefully if you guys are interested in dropshipping or building an online store, doing e-commerce, this video gave you guys some valuable insight. All the resources I talked about in this video, I'll put them down below in the description. Definitely take advantage of AI store builders and fulfillment platforms like Zendrop, because yeah, if you don't, you're at a huge disadvantage. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys got any value from it, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content just like this. I make a ton of videos about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and basically stuff to help you guys live a financially successful life. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.